Welcome back and happy Mother's Day. Oh, welcome back to Goodness and Gracious. I'm Renee.
I'm Chrissy.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Rachel.
So, as promised, we have guests. I think everybody thought that maybe we didn't have any friends or nobody cared about
We're
us.
your
and-
daughters.
Oh yeah,
We're not friends.
well, we don't have any friends.
I hope you're our friend. It is true. Listen, I have proof on Facebook that you said I was your friend.
How long ago? I haven't been on Facebook in a while.
Was it posted in 2012?
I'm not a friend no more.
back in 1910.
Fine, whatever.
Back when
Anyway.
Facebook first came out. So most people know who these ladies are, but for those who don't, we have with us Rachel and Jamie. And these are not our friends, they're our daughters. So we're their moms. And they are also moms, and we all work in ministry.
Yep.
It's momception.
So we're fitting in this category.
Momception.
Momception?
Like Inception, but momception.
Okay.
It's mother inside of a mother.
Mother. Okay. I'm trying to stay focused.
I'm sorry.
Gum in your mouth?
I do.
You need that tissue.
You know, I went through the food line today, and I'm like, going to get onion. No, I'm not going to get onions because I'm going to be sitting in that room.
Thank you.
Close to everybody.
Yeah, close to everybody. I'm
We
like,
appreciate that.
I don't want to. Then I put the gum in my mouth anyway. So
Yep.
But that doesn't mean they didn't.
it's me. I'm the problem.
I had onions.
I did not.
I didn't.
Unless it's in something that we didn't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So Renee,
Yeah.
tell everyone what is so special about these two moms that we have with us today.
Do I know?
We're special. We're special.
Very
We were
special.
Besides that,
Well, not only is Jamie a mother to one, but in July she's going to be a mother to another one.
a mother to another.
And Rachel's got 3 and going to be a mother in
mother.
December. So we have 2 expecting mothers sitting with us.
Yep.
We're going to be grandmas again.
2 grandkids in 1 year. I
Yes.
was like,
That's awesome.
just
It's good planning.
Planning.
ordering. But the thing is that God has a sense of humor, and He let you guys have one of the desires of your heart to be pregnant at the same time.
Yep.
So we're pretty excited about that.
Since we were like 12, we wanted to like we always talked about being pregnant at the same time.
Yep.
We just didn't know that would be like we're almost 30 and that would happen.
So Magnolia. We know this one's a girl. We don't know what this one is yet, so we're just calling it Baby K because no matter what,
gonna be
it's going to
a
start with
Start
K.
with K, yeah.
And an A. K-A.
Well, as far as we know, it'll be K.A.
It's gonna be Jeff.
Ska. It's going to be
It's not
Jeff.
a snake.
Case and Kalankari and
Jeff.
Jeff.
We weren't expecting him.
Yeah, you were so
not a
unexpected.
boy.
We don't.
It's a girl.
That could be a
Okay.
girl name.
Jefferina. No, let's not do that.
Okay.
Rachel, tell us a bit about yourself.
You have to talk. Bless your heart.
I'm Rachel. I'm her daughter.
And I'm a mom. I'm a mom. This sounds like a meeting, like an AA meeting. My name's Rachel, and I'm a mom.
You got to do a little bit better.
I'm
than
in
that,
ministry.
child, sorry.
What do you want to know about me?
Just whatever you want to say. What's something? Oh, let's do the whole
Oh no.
the trauma. Like you have fun fact.
Oh, fun fact.
Fun fact about yourself.
Perfect.
I don't have any fun facts.
Are you bored?
I'm boring. I have 3 kids.
I just said
It's fun.
It's fun. It's a fun
It's a
fact.
fact.
It's a fact.
It's going to be a long podcast.
Yes.
I just said that, though, so they don't
Okay.
count.
I homeschool.
There you go.
There you go.
Perfect.
Okay. Homeschool.
Good job.
Jamie. Yes.
Tell us a bit about yourself.
That was painful for you. I'm Jamie. I am also a mom of 1 and about to be 2. Fun fact. I am the youth pastor's wife here at the church, and also a Sunday school teacher. And I drive a van.
Rachel also drives
Rachel.
a van.
Yes.
When I drive.
When you drive. Fun fact about Rachel is she makes me drive when we go places.
Most of the time she makes me drive. It depends where we're going.
Because I have coons when I drive.
I think she has doubts about her own driving skills. That's,
I think she doesn't want other people to judge her.
Yeah.
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 Especially when you go to Cedar
I can
Point.
feel
She
that.
doesn't
Oh,
want
yeah.
to drive.
I will not drive to
Yeah.
Cedar Point. I hate that parking lot.
I can feel. It's scary. It's a scary place. Downtown New York City does not hold a candle to the Cedar Point
Yeah, no.
parking lot. So that was the criteria to meet, the prerequisite, I got that out, if you will, to be able to be here on this podcast. You had to be a mom,
Boom.
and you had to be in ministry. Don't you guys feel special?
We're very, very special.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
you
you've
are.
You
told
guys
us.
hit both of them. Good job.
Yeah. So to get started, I want to get your take on something that we talked about in the last episode. Okay, so it seems for the purpose of the success of procreation, God made moms, really women in general, though, unique. So as women, He has designed us to be forgetful. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Renee, do you want to read the scripture?
Sure. John 16:21. A woman, when she is in travail, hath sorrow, because her hour is come. But as soon as she is delivered of the child, she remembers no more the anguish for the joy that a man is born into the world.
I would just like to point out that that was not King James Version, because remembers is not King, it's remembereth. So what are some things about pregnancy, childbirth, the whole experience, that if God had not intervened, you would have stopped after the first child or the second child or third in Rachel's case?
You were specifically asked right at the end of that.
Really, the pregnancies, the other three, weren't bad. The birthing wasn't great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For mine.
That's kind of how it was for me.
Yeah.
But honestly, it was it's not that I necessarily forgot it. Like, I still remember it because it's fairly, like, he's only 18 months old. But, like, it didn't deter me from going on. Does that make sense? Like, I think maybe there wasn't just enough forgotten. Like, I remember some pinpoint things, but, like, some things I'm like, I didn't even know that happened. Cool. You know what I mean? You're just there.
But I really do think that it's by design that God
is.
He has designed us to forget things, because otherwise, one child,
Yeah.
we're done.
Well,
no
even
more.
when you're thinking about, like, you're talking to, because, like, my child is only 18 months old. I'm like, I don't remember when they start, like, smiling or, like, when they roll over. Like, I literally just went through that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not that long ago.
Yeah.
And so, like, I was talking to another mother, and she was like, yeah, they haven't rolled over yet. I haven't, or something. It was something like that. And I'm like, I don't even know when they're supposed to do that. And I just did that.
So we discussed that last time, the forgetfulness or amnesia that women experience. But it's not only an experience of moms who give birth, but it is also a trait of women in general. Because there are many women who mother right here in this church that have not given birth, and what a blessing they are to us.
Yeah. Yep.
And I feel like as women, God has created us in such a way that even if they're not our own children, we have a tendency to forget things. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Because that's how God's designed us, to be able to make sure that nurturing is done in a manner that it's, the way it's supposed to be done.
Yep.
Because it takes a village, just like Pastor. Usually we give a plug-in to the message because it usually has to go along with what we're talking about. But it takes us all, to be able to do it. And they are all important.
Yep.
All the kids are important. So
What she's talking about is go listen to her.
yeah, go
pastor's
listen
message this
to
morning.
Pastor's message this morning.
Mother's Day message.
It was
yes.
good. It was
Yeah.
good stuff. And it's something, honestly, that's been on my heart for a very, very long time. Discipleship was birthed out of that idea, and actually came along way before discipleship even started, because I kind of hem-hauled, this is what I do. God has to be like, I told you to do this. So, but it's up and running now. So let's just forget about the past. All right, so let's talk some shop. So I don't think that there is a ministry that our church is working in that isn't touched by at least one of us sitting here.
Yeah.
So there's plenty to talk about. But let's start on the home front. So Rachel, being a stay-at-home mom, has as many challenges as it has blessings. Sometimes the blessings are found in the rough of the challenges. But on top of that, you homeschool your children. Now, just tell me, because I know my answer to this. Do you find it challenging to maintain your witness while teaching?
So the poor Kason. The first child. That first homeschool year was so bad. I luckily God has really worked in me through that because it was really hard. But I feel like now I'm able to slow down and be like, because the way he corrects me, I'm able to say like, well, I don't want God stomping his feet and screaming and
Right.
doing all that stuff to me. So I try to, whenever they don't listen or they can't write a paper or whatever it is, you know, how does God correct me when I'm acting like a child? And so I don't do perfect, but I try to do better.
Well, it's a learning process. Yeah. It's a learning process. And I think that even like CJ and Jamie would probably say that as the time went on, I got a little bit better at it. I would hope that they would say I got a little bit better at it. But these guys were, they were challenging. Now,
That was a good one.
you know what? No, you weren't because I think, I don't know if you remember, but the worst thing for me was they would get in those chairs.
Spinny chairs.
Yeah.
And they make the
And
noise.
they would do this and while they were doing their schoolwork. I'm like, no,
I thought you were supposed to forget things.
you're not. This is something that God says you need to bring this up. You don't need to forget it. So Jamie, you're not at the homeschool stage, but it will be here before you know it. You worked outside the home before you had Tolkien.
Yep.
So even though you know that this ministry that you're doing, Tolkien, being a mom, is what God has for you, what are some challenges you faced having worked outside the home previously and are now not part of that world?
Honestly, the hardest thing was it felt like, so like being home with Tolkien, even though I knew it was a ministry, I knew it was a thing, there was no gauge of it though. So like when I was working at different jobs, there was always like, this is your responsibility, this is your list of things to do, and then you do those things and then you feel accomplished, like, oh yay, that's done. But like when you're a mom, you don't necessarily like your like list of responsibilities and the way that you can gauge your success is long term.
Yeah.
Like
Your work is never
18,
done.
20 years down the road. Like
gotta do this
you don't know.
again
Yeah, you don't know you did a good job until they're out in the world. Do you know what I mean? And so I think that was what was really hard for me is that I didn't have like the daily accomplishment. Does that make sense? And even when you do accomplish, like I know that like you have like your list of cleaning duties to do or like whatever. Like even when you accomplish those, somebody comes back around.
Yeah.
And messes it up. It's walking their dirty feet on
Shame
the
on
floor.
you, Jacob.
Yeah.
Stop walking with your feet on the floor.
And someone always needs food. Like, why do you always need food? But like, that's what was hard is that it was never ending. It wasn't a clock out. And so I think that was the hardest thing for me moving from a job standpoint to a like being a mom, taking care of the house.
Yeah. Yep, I would agree with that. So the ministry that is right here staring us in the face right now is NOYC, which is the Northern Ohio Youth Camp. And this is our 14th year? Sure. 14th year. We had, listen, we've been a part of this from the very beginning. We can't remember when we started
Josh
this.
keeps saying 14, so that's wrong.
That's what I was
Is
thinking.
the
I had it
2020
up.
year that's weird? Because we skipped it.
Yeah.
And then you had the tornado year.
Yeah, we didn't have 2020 year. If you don't know why we didn't have the 2020 year, then I don't know. Yeah, where have you been? But we did have to skip that year, and then we had a short year.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was only like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
3 days? 3 days.
It was.
It was short.
It was something. It was like
Yeah,
only
it
till
was-
Thursday, wasn't it?
It wasn't
Monday
even.
to Thursday.
Everybody
don't-
left Wednesday.
We're talking about the tornado year, right?
Yeah.
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 One of the year after that, we didn't do a full year at camp though. Or full
tornado.
week at camp.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we didn't.
Our first year back after
Unmovable.
COVID, yeah.
22?
Unmovable?
It was Monday to Friday.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, Monday to
We didn't
Friday.
have a full, Anyway, but it's, I think it's this 14.
Okay.
All that
So,
to say.
all that to say this, a lot of planning goes into this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You wouldn't believe what all is involved if we try to tell you what you wouldn't believe.
You should
it.
see all the spreadsheets.
Yeah.
I hate
But at least you have spreadsheets.
We do have spreadsheets.
Yeah. So a lot of planning goes into this. Rachel or Jamie, preferably both. We're going to make both of you talk. Tell us a bit about that planning and how your role, how that has evolved over the years and what effect that has had on you as a mom. So your role, what do you do, how that's evolved, and then how it has an effect on you as a mom. Rachel.
Why do I always go first?
Because I'm gonna ramble on about something.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess like I was a camper in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then I started, so like my first year not a camper, all I remember is going and getting everything for Josh out of that trailer that was like 150 degrees and it was full of bees.
Yeah.
It was terrible. But then now we help more plan and stuff and actually do some of the, I don't want to say coordinating, but
It's
plan things.
That's kind of what it is, though.
Why don't you put them together? But we
You
don't
guys are kind of coordinators, assistant coordinators for Josh,
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah.
As far as how that's affected me as a mom, so like my job is a mom, so like I take them with me. Anything I do there.
Yeah.
So they have to come with me. But also like it's because I'm a mom, it's helped me stay in check. So I can't just at camp time, I don't just drop everything and do camp. I have to make sure I'm spending time with them.
Yeah.
I have to just who I am. I feel like I need to keep the house clean. I need to still cook. I need to still do all the things. I can't just let that slip. So for me, kind of keeps me in check to keep my family ministry where it needs to be and keep camp ministry, and they can both work together and maintain both of them.
Yep.
Good answer.
Because it's when you don't know what goes into camp, you don't realize how that can quickly get out of balance.
Yeah.
Well, when I focus all my attention on camp and I let all my family stuff slide, then like camp is just poo.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's like,
That's a good word to put it.
yeah.
Can I say that on a podcast?
You can.
On ours, you can.
I can't believe your mom hasn't said some. Never mind. So, Jamie.
Yes. So, kind of the same situation. Mine's just later on. So, like, you didn't have a whole lot of years where you weren't a mom. Like, I had years where I wasn't a mom and a helper. Yeah. And you didn't have a whole lot of those because you had Kason at 19?
I was 20 when I had him, but
20, yeah.
Transitioned into responsibility and mom at the same time.
Yeah. And so, like, your transition was like all that. It was like probably a lot more because trying to figure out all of that at the same time was probably really, really hard. But I also started camper, and then I went up, and then I had, I don't even know how many years would have that been, because 18 to 26, I was like on my own. Like I didn't have to worry about kids, but able to help with camp. And so I was already used to the way that like camp planning looked to me, and then also how I was able to balance my responsibilities at camp. But then I had a child, and then that just blows everything out of the water. Because it is that whole thing of like, even this year, a lot of times I have to wait for someone to be able to watch Tolkien to be able to do things at the ministry building, because like it's just not the safest of things, because he is a very curious child. He'll climb on the rafters. But that's the thing, is like trying to figure out that balance between being a mom, but also like I have responsibility. These things have to be done. Like camp is at a certain date. Like I can't just be like, oh, I'll just push that off. Right. But also at camp, a lot of it is trying to figure out the hats situation. We talk about this a lot, being a mom, because we're very thankful that like Rachel and I both have like our kids' grandparents that come to camp. And so they are able to help us out with daycare and taking care of them at night and like just different things like that. But it's really hard when like that is your job, that is your ministry, to like take that hat off and allow someone else to do that for almost a whole week. Yeah. And then not integrate yourself into it because you have this huge
trying
thing.
to share the hat with them.
Yeah, you're like, can we both have this soda drink hat? But yeah, that's what I would say. That was probably the hardest thing, is like finding that balance between, and it's going to be every year, finding that balance between being mom, because you don't want to just completely drop out of everything, but like you're up until 2 a.m. or you're up doing that. You can't feasibly do both things.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep. So in NOYC or in any other ministry that you're involved with, have you ever felt pressured by others to take on more than what you knew God was calling you to take on?
Yeah. And I think, honestly, there's some times when it's an ebb and flow, though, sometimes. So, like, I don't think necessarily, because, again, I started this, I was an adult prior to having a child. I had a lot of years where I was in ministry prior to having a child responsibility. Right. And so there was some things that, like, it wasn't necessarily that it was wrong for me to be a part of or be a forefront of at that time. But once I had him, it was like that hard thing of trying to still be that person that is involved with all these different things and be a mom.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's, you just can't hang on to
It's
both.
very sad sometimes when you have to let some things go because you know that you're supposed to be a part of them, but
Yeah.
maybe your role is changing or maybe it just has to be put on hold for a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yep.
Rachel, have you ever felt pressured to?
Yeah, I feel like not with campus as much, but with other ministries, it's just when you get offered things or people come to you and think like, oh, I had you on my mind for this. Like I have to, like before it's like, it feels like it'd be easy just to be like, oh yeah, sure. Like I'll do it.
Yeah. Right.
But like now, like I feel like I have to really take the time to pray about it, which you should anyway.
Yes,
You should be
yes.
praying, evaluating, but
Yes.
my time is more precious now. I feel like there's a lot of kids and we're busy.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's hard I can't do everything.
Right. No, you
So.
can't. You can't do everything. And so Renee and I are kind of in the mindset of, so we are, 20 years ago doing what you guys are doing right now. And I think that we fell into that, well, it's got to be done, so we have to do it.
Yes.
And sometimes it's kind of hard to get out of that mode when so like for me, I still have that mentality of like, I know this is stupid. It doesn't relate, but it kind of does. I never did automatic bill pay because when you lived paycheck to paycheck,
Yeah.
you don't do that,
Yeah.
because you're like, I'm going to pay Peter when I can pay Peter and Paul will get paid sometime as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now I'm like, I still have a hard time committing to bill pay, even though I don't live as much paycheck to paycheck as
Yeah.
what I used to.
Yeah.
So you kind of get used to the way you do things. For us, it's kind of hard to get out of that mentality.
Yeah.
No, we have plenty of people in the church to do things. We just need to be able to offer those things to other people. And I think that it's hard to get out of that mindset. Thinking that we have to do
We
it.
don't want to let go of the reins.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of us in the church like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think too that when you're thinking about, so especially once we've gotten like down the road, there is that like heart change of you're more towards God. So like what's hard is that you want to do things for Him too.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it is just selfish. I know I can do this job. I can do this right. I'm the only one that will do this right. But then there's also that thing of like, I want to be a help. I want to be like, there was like a lot of time, like when we were talking about LifeWise, like I'm not a part of that as of current. That may change like in the future, but I'm not a part of that as current. But like when it came up, I wanted to, but then I'm like, I just don't know if that's feasible for me right now. I don't have the bandwidth. I don't have and so like it was a lot of prayer and a lot of just looking in because I wanted to do it. That's the problem. And there's like a lot of things that are going on. Like even you want to be a part of them, but like if you're not supposed to be, you shouldn't because you will bring it down.
Sometimes your part is prayer, and
yes.
that's it.
Yes.
And that's it. Yeah. So, do you have any words of encouragement for moms who are trying to balance motherhood in general?
I mean,
You got anything?
well, it's a cliche, but like the most important thing is your relationship with God. Anytime that I start letting that slip or letting it, like it's not, so like I can read my Bible and pray every day, but if I'm not actually taking the time to have the relationship with Him, it affects ministry, it affects homeschooling, it affects even cleaning and cooking and my relationship with CJ and stuff, like it affects everything. So the most important thing you can do is have that relationship with God and stay close to Him because you can't do motherhood without Him.
No.
You just can't.
No.
These people out here doing it without it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. So, I think this is just what I think. I'm sure that you can look at the situation and say we probably weren't the best moms. But when I look at these guys, I think how God has blessed us, even in our failures, to be able to have these guys and say, well, we did something a little bit right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm very thankful for both of them. I think they're two of the best women in the church, two of the best moms in the church. And they're very, very busy in their ministries. And they have a desire to balance their ministry. And I think that's key.
Yep.
That's all the questions I had for them.
You have questions.
I do.
Oh boy. Call Jamie first this time.
So at the end of our podcast, we
I
do
listen.
5 rounds.
Yeah, I was hoping that we maybe just slide by that this time.
We didn't.
Are they like rapid fire
Yeah.
questions? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Jamie's like ready for it.
I'm ready.
you still have to answer.
Was she gonna give my answer?
No, they're for
points?
both of you.
Oh, they're for points.
They're for points.
They're for boys.
We get tickets.
I'm not
Team
gonna do it. I'm not going to do them in order.
Okay,
So I'm going
that's
to do it
fine.
this.
Okay.
What is your favorite season? Summer, fall, winter, or spring?
Summer.
I think that was rigged.
Summer.
I knew you'd say that. That's a hard one for me because I like all of them.
You
Well,
are.
there's your answer then.
Oh, okay, all of them.
She's ambi seasonal.
Summer, fall.
Like
Summer,
ambidextrous.
fall. What did you say? Summer, fall, winter, summer.
Summer.
Spring is my least favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
wet.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's muddy.
We're proving that right now.
It's rain and it's mud and it's everything else.
it's
So
tornadoes
it
every
goes
other
summer,
Yeah.
fall,
Every other
winter,
Tuesday.
and then
Yeah,
spring.
fall's my first because summer's too hot. Like you said, spring is probably second, just because of the flowers and
Yeah,
things
that's
are beginning
nice,
to
but-
live.
That's nice for you.
I like to lay out and like burn in the sun. That's who I am as a human being.
I don't mind summer if it's in the 70s.
That's not summer.
That's what you
I
call
just don't
spring.
like the 80s and 90s. I just,
That's definitely spring and fall.
we'll stick with that. All right. What is your favorite worship song our church sings right now? You're not supposed to think about it. Just
No.
Oh,
Bam.
I like my Jesus.
I had either Goodness of God or Never Walk Alone.
good ones. Good. All right. What is your favorite thing about being pregnant? Since you're both pregnant right now.
Favorite thing?
I like feeling the baby move.
Yeah, I like the movements. Even when like it's like I'm pretty sure she takes my spleen and throws it against my bladder. But like besides that, like it's amazing.
Starts on that.
Oh my gosh. All right. Would you rather
Here we go. Would you rather?
witness the birth of Christ or the death, burial, and resurrection?
Probably the death, burial, and resurrection.
Yeah, I would say that too.
I would say that as well.
You did on one of the podcasts. Yeah.
You did say
I
that.
agree.
I did say that. Wait a minute. I
You
did.
did
I
that,
agree with
Thomas.
that. The birth would be cool, but I think the other would have
Yeah.
been even more fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, like it's the I mean, I've been there for birth. Like I've seen that before, but like someone being raised from the dead, I ain't been there before.
Been there ever.
I have not got the T-shirt from that.
Are you ready for the last one?
No.
I didn't think you would be.
I don't know.
Would you rather
Oh no,
be in a pit full of spiders or a pit full of snakes?
snakes.
Snakes. Oh, yeah. 100%.
I would become friends with the
girls.
snakes. I'd take a snake and start whipping it.
yeah.
Spiders, I would just die.
Spiders
Yeah.
are not going to hurt you.
Like I think I would legitimately
snakes
just have a
can
panic
stick and
attack and
bite
die.
you.
Like my heart rate would go to 1,000, and then I'd be
Spiders
dead.
bite.
Guys.
And they creepy crawl and
I'd rather do spiders and I can't do snakes.
I almost died at the Walmart.
I was on the phone with her during it.
At the Walmart picking up groceries because the guy came up to me. He was like, "What's the order for?" I'm like, "Jamie Hines," and it was right there, right in the corner of my car, like right on the window. And I'm like, "Oh no!" But I had to, cool because like the guy's talking to me. So he gets done. He's like, "Yeah," and then he takes it to the back of the van, and then I just take my shoe and I'm. So the guy probably thought I was crazy, but then the dead carcass, I killed it. Dead carcass bounced back at me and landed on my shirt, so I had to take it and throw it. It was very traumatic.
Sounds like it.
If it would have been a snake, I'd have been like, "Hey, there's a snake."
Oh no. But what you?
This is where seeing my death and burial would come in, because if I had to choose,
Not the resurrection.
No, I'm gonna leave that to Jesus. He can resurrect me. But I'm just saying, just count me dead. I wouldn't be
one?
able to choose
You
either
wouldn't-
either one of them.
You just, like,
Well, I
heart
wouldn't
attack
like
die?
either one, but if I had to, I would choose spiders. They don't bother me.
And especially if there's like
Unless it was daddy long legs.
oh yeah, daddy long legs. They're
I didn't
fast.
say what kind of spiders.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
But snakes, I can't even stand
I
a
can
picture
deal
of a
with it.
snake.
Like if
I
it's a
can
bunch of
deal
daddy
with
long legs, be like, "Hey, what's up?"
yeah, like,
Yeah.
hey guys.
They're
The
nice.
problem, you're sitting there watching TV show, and you know there's a snake comes on, and I'm looking down, and Gear's like, "Don't look." What do you do when someone tells you not to look? You look, and there's that big old snake. It's like, are you kidding me right now?
yeah.
Just don't say anything, then I probably still wouldn't look.
No,
Whatever.
thank you.
See, those questions wasn't so hard, was it?
No, they were good.
No,
See, yeah.
she's not as mean as what you say she is, Rachel.
You don't believe that.
Goodness.
You don't believe that? You don't believe the words you're saying?
Whatever.
All right.
But yeah.
You guys have anything else? No.
Good luck.
We know Rachel's going to say no. But if you guys do need anything, pertaining to mothers in ministry, you can contact these two.
Yeah.
The young mothers, we'll
Because
put it
they're
that
in
way.
the thick of it right now.
If you're the old mother, you can contact us. If you're the
I
young.
very much am envious of just the way our church does things now.
Yeah.
I'm envious of them and what they get to be a part of, even though when they're in the thick of things and they feel pressured to take on something that they're not supposed to take on, or they're even the stuff that they're supposed to take on, finding balance in that is. It's just different than it used to be. And I'm very, very, they may think that it's, but it is different. And I'm very envious.
Well, we were talking to Gary last week in between services, and our church as a whole, like, we're not perfect. We're very much so not perfect. But there is a lot more encouragement, especially from the women in our church. Like, I feel like a lot of churches have, like, looked down, like, you're not raising your kids the way that I did, or you're just, like, you're doing it wrong, or, like, whatever. There's a lot of judgment. And, like, our church, especially from, like the middle, and then, like, even our older ones, there's just a lot of...
We're not in the older.
Yeah, she put us in the middle.
I know, that's great.
I just want to be young.
I see.
But, like, we have a lot of encouragement from... especially, like, the ones that, like, our older ones, they, like, really, like, when they talk to us, it's always, you guys are doing a good job, we're proud of you.
That means a lot.
It does, because those women have had life, and they've seen things, and they've had to do what we do, maybe in a different, like, timeline and different things.
That's the new Sand Hill. Honestly, when the boys were little,
Yeah.
like, I left church all the time crying.
Yeah.
Because I felt like everyone was looking down on me. Everyone was like, those kids, because, like, I was the first one to have kids
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
So, like, I didn't have an example. I didn't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
So I felt like everyone was upset that they were noisy, and, like, everything was whatever. And so I left a lot of services feeling like they were all upset with me, because they'd give you the looks, they'd make little comments that you'd maybe even take the wrong way or whatever. But I think the church has definitely changed a lot to where I don't feel like we have that as much
And you
anymore.
have changed as far as you've grown up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the kids are grown.
Yeah. But I agree. Yeah.
Yep.
Church isn't like it was back then.
Yeah, but I think that's really important, especially if you're going to be in ministry. It is really important to have the people that, like, the grandparents, and then, like, what we were talking about this morning, like, the grandparents, the great grandparents, they are all on the same page. They all want the same thing for the kids.
Right.
And that really makes a big difference when you have that compared to if we were trying to do this, if we were trying to be where we are with camp, and, like, we didn't have you guys help with the kids, and we didn't have other people at the church that would be willing to help with the kids and understand that kids are going to be kids.
Yeah.
Like, if we didn't have that, we couldn't do what we need to do.
Yeah, God has really molded and shaped our church to be that. And what I find, I made this joke. I spent a lot of years in the kitchen for camp, which was a blessing. Don't get me wrong, it was a blessing. And then I felt that God had something different, so I moved out of that and I moved into taking care of grandkids for camp. And then, it's very easy to think that you're not doing something spiritual when you're doing that, but you are.
Yeah.
And so I loved doing that, and even helped with some other kids, along the way. But then last year I helped with Token a little bit, and then Dawn took over, and then I had Kari Grace and was helping with the boys, get them ready. But the boys were on a team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then this year, before we got the news, I was like, I don't know where my place is. I mean, I know Kari Grace and I will be palling around, but I don't know what my place
But she's
is.
not that far from being on a team.
Right. So, and then, lo and behold, here comes Rachel. She's like, next
I got
year,
you.
next year, I got you a new grandbaby.
It's a new contract.
Your old one's
5
expiring.
5-year
You're
contract.
getting a new one. So then I was like, because I felt like I wasn't done with that. I didn't know what that meant, but I felt like I wasn't done with that. And then I honestly believe that even with Jamie, once Cassie starts having kids, there's going to be a lot for Dawn to take care of. So I might be able to get a
little bit back and forth.
Yeah, we'll be probably tag teaming, and teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah. I think that's the thing is, like, without those, especially at camp, like, without those people being able to do those jobs, we couldn't do our jobs.
Right.
There's just no way. There'd be no way that, because on a normal day, like without crazy bananas, it's like we're up from anywhere between 5 and 6 to midnight 1.
Yeah.
Like that's not feasible for
It used
a
to be
child.
later than that.
It used to be later than
before
that.
you got organized.
Yeah, before we got organized and we got lazy, I think.
Organized, lazy.
We pushed breakfast back a little bit.
Yeah, we did. We're like, you know what? We could make this easier for ourselves. But it is. That's what people don't understand is that those jobs are important.
Yeah.
It's just the same as the person that's cutting out all the little pieces of things at
Yep.
they think cutting out 300 glasses, what is that going to do anything? It does.
Yeah.
Like without those jobs, we can't do our job, And so it's really important.
I checked the bullhorns yesterday.
Yeah. And you
Had
wrote
that
on them.
job last
And I
year.
wrote on them.
And you found your own marker.
And I found my own marker. And yeah. Do you guys have to babysit like that all the time? Just like, let me find you a marker. Let
Yeah.
me find.
Yeah.
Listen, I can find it myself. I don't need you to mother me. Stop mothering me.
But yeah, no, it's all important. Every single
Yeah.
piece. So that's for the people that are mothers. A happy Mother's Day for the people that are mothers. But then also the people that aren't mothers that don't have that responsibility. Like your part might be helping that mother be able to
Yes.
be what she's supposed to be.
Exactly.
For the mothers that aren't mothers that are supporting
Yep.
the mothers. Yes. All women in
Yep.
general. Because
Yep, yep,
that's
yep.
the way God designed
I
it.
guess the only advice I would probably give is be an encouragement.
That's
Or
what I
an
was thinking.
encourager to the other,
Yep.
whether you're a mother or whether you're not a mother. It doesn't really matter.
I think
Just
I don't know why I feel like women have a hard time complimenting each other. Like I feel like it doesn't come natural. I doubt men ever compliment each other. So maybe
CJ's
people,
always like, I love your
people
man.
in general, just
cool
don't
shoes
compliment
there,
each other.
dude.
Yeah.
As much as you get.
Yeah, but I think that compliments, like if someone compliments my looks, like I'm like, but like when they like tell me like you are doing a good job as a mom or you're doing what like that goes a long way. So like
Yeah.
don't ever hesitate to give the compliment or to
Yeah.
give the encouragement because that might be what they need to get through that day.
Yeah.
Right. I think one of the best things that we did was the encouragement for the women.
Oh, yeah.
It started back in March.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we just asked the ladies to, think of someone and pray for someone in the church that's on their heart, and then write them a little note or give them a card of encouragement or whatever. And that's been going on since March. And I think it's been very, very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I gave out a lot of cards this morning.
Yeah.
Strengthening our women.
Yeah.
The men are important,
Yeah.
but so are the women. And
But we need each other.
Yes, we do. We need to bind together and
In
be that
unity.
force.
Yes.
Especially with those young mothers. You don't know what they experienced right before they walked into that church house that morning.
Exactly.
Exactly. There's been a
And
lot
maybe
of,
you do know.
Maybe you do know. There's a lot of times that I've walked in and like there are like every other Sunday I'm on my own. It's just me in Tolkien because Jacob has to work. And so there's been several Sunday mornings where I'm just like, this is just the morning. This is it. This is the reason.
This is how it ends.
This is how it ends. But then one of like the older ladies or somebody will come up to me and be like, he was just so cute during the service. He was talking during the Sunday school and he was just answering Josh. Like, like they will just like, and it makes you feel good. You're like,
Yeah.
they appreciate him being here, even though it was a lot of work to get here this morning. Like there's a reason, and he's learning things, and they're learning things, But
Yeah, that dude sits during the singing so well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He loves
Like
singing.
literally.
Yeah.
I could not believe it.
yeah. But yeah.
All right.
All right. I guess that's it. No guest next time.
No, we're not having no guests next.
I'm
Well,
just
Used up all your
joking.
friends.
we might.
Use up all your friends.
Yeah, we
Did
might.
you say boyfriend?
I said you used up all your friends.
Okay, I was like, I don't have no
What?
boyfriend.
Are you still going with the same idea that you said?
I thought, but I had like when I sprung that question, it was kind of like, oh, no, I don't.
Okay. We'll see.
So we'll see.
Okay.
But I'd like to.
Okay.
That's one thing we don't have to plan.
Woohoo.
All right. All right. I guess we'll wrap it up. How's
Okay.
that?
Right.
Thank you guys for coming. We appreciate it. So happy Mother's Day and have a good one. See ya.
Bye.